What's going on, guys? We're back. This is Stamps FX, and in this video we are going to review one of my proprietary strategies, and then I'm going to show you guys how to create this strategy step by step in the web-based version of EA Builder, so that you guys can create a bot or EA around the strategy if you so choose. If not, just look at the strategy. You can try it out for yourself, again, but trade at your own risk. I'm not a financial advisor, I have to throw that in there. But so anyway, also before we start, guys, be sure to subscribe to the channel and like this video, of course, like every other YouTuber says, just so you can catch the other videos. All right, so let's get started. So first, this strategy is going to use three things. Moving average. This is the 20 period EMA, the exponential moving average. All right, 20 period exponential. It's going to use envelopes, 14 period. All right, simple. A moving average method is simple, 14 period envelope. And then it's going to use the RSI. Make sure the RSI is set to 10, and we have the level set at this is a 75 level and this is the 25 level. Now, the way this is going to work, we are just going to capitalize on the current momentum. So basically that means if the market is going down, we're going to capitalize on the market going down. If it's going up, we'll capitalize the market going up. If we look at, so I went to a period here that has high volatility. The reason why I did that is because most trading expert advisors and most people in general have a hard time trading when the volatility begins to spike. All right, because it's all over the place. Hard to set a stop loss because it'll stop you out. All right, so let's go through the strategy before we flip over and start creating the expert advisor. So first of all, the strategy works like this. The moving average is going to give us an indication of whether the market is going up or down for the most part. All right, we're going to wait until the candle closes outside of the moving average and outside of one of the envelopes, and then we'll just trade in that direction. All right, case in point, let's look at this candle right here. The candle closed, the body of the candle and the range of the candle from the highest to the lowest closed below this moving average and this lower envelope right here. So we would enter, if we were to enter the trade here, the drawdown would be about, we'll just say 7 pips or so, and the take profit would be around 17 pips or so. I just always deduct 2 or add 2. So that's the method that we're going to go through at this point. Let's look at another one here. This is the opposite end of it. This candle right here closed above the envelope, the upper envelope, and above this moving average, this 20 period EMA. So that means we would have got in here. This candle right here closed. It gave us a signal to get in here. You see the drawdown on this candle right here would be about 4 pips, and it jumps as high as 22 pips or 20 pips. All right, so we are going to program an expert advisor to do this for us. So hopefully we're looking for it to jump in here, jump out here. Now, one of the things with an expert advisor, you guys know you have to set the take profit and the stop loss. So we'll give it maybe around 8 pips, and then we'll probably double it and say we'll let it have a stop loss of 8 pips and then a take profit of 16 pips. So we'll do it that way. Now, where this comes into play is, let's go back to this example where this closed above this and this. So we would have been here when this closed. We want to avoid jumping in a trade if the RSI is above 75 for a bullish trade, or below 25 for a bearish trade. All right, so let's jump back over here to our example. This candle right here closed outside or under both of these levels right here, so we would have took a bearish trade. Now when this closed, we look down here, it's still good. It's in the zone, this area right here. Now if this would have been way down here below this 25 level, then we're going to tell the bot or the EA not to trade it. All right, do not trade it. And the reason we want to do that is because if it's already down here, it's already overextended. We may find ourselves in a situation where boom or boom, it closed like this right here. Jumps down this candle, even though it's a bullish candle, it closes below. Well, the body of it peaks, but let's say this candle, everything closes below. Even though it's a bullish candle, everything closes below. We would normally take this to the downside, but if you look here, this is below, so this is an indication that it may reverse to the upside. All right, and as you notice also on the chart is some people just like to trade the regular RSI method, which says if the RSI is below a certain level, then you if it's below, let's say it's below the 25 level, then go in for a buy, because this is oversold and chances of it shooting up is very high. So you can take a look at that method if you want to. It does work some of the time, but it does not work all of the time. So for example, it would have worked here, it would have worked possibly here, but if you would have got in too late, you could have got stretched a little bit, but could have worked there. So again here, and different people use different parameters. So I think there's other people who use not the 75 and 25, I think they use the 85 and maybe the 15, and they may use a different range here. Instead of 10, they may use something else. But this is the strategy that we're using right now, and this is USDCHF. This is an hourly chart. All right, so real quick, let's jump over to our EA builder program here, and let's close this out. Let's go to new, and we want a new strategy, and let's just name it, what do you guys want to name it? Let's name it, let's see, we will name it 3 indicator YouTube peeps. For my YouTube peeps that's watching the video, appreciate you guys. Be sure to subscribe, and the comment, this uses the envelopes. This also uses the RSI, and this also uses the EMA. All right, 20. That's just there for reference for you guys. I usually don't even put a comment. All right, so let's create it. It gives us a clean slate. So what are our buy conditions? First buy condition is we want to make sure that the candlestick, yes, on the current time frame, the candlestick closed. So yes, the candlestick that is closed. We want to make sure that the open, first of all, we want to make sure that the open is above the 20 period EMA. So let's go down and find moving average. So moving average 20. Let's make sure it's the exponential or EMA and not the SMA, simple moving average. All right, so now we have a condition here that says the candlestick open needs to be above the EMA, the 20 period EMA. Okay, got that condition. Now we want another condition that says the candlestick close needs to be above the 20 period EMA. All right. So now we have the open, candlestick open and close. This basically says wherever the candle open, wherever the candle close, we want it to be above these two conditions. So now we want the candlestick, you know, I probably should have just did high, the candlestick high and low. So let's change that. So instead of the open and the close, I want the, let's say for this candle, if this candle right here, I want the open and close, that's fine. But what if this had a wick that comes way down here? All right, we want everything, including the wick, to be above. So let's go back over and edit this to say not just the candlestick open, but the candlestick high and the candlestick low. We want both of those to be above the 20 period EMA. We also want both of those, this is for a buy order, see it says it here, we also want both of the candlestick high and low to be above the envelope. Let's see, envelopes, and the 14 period is correct, but we need to make sure that we choose the upper envelope or the upper line. All right, so we got the high there Let's go to add condition for the other one, candlestick. The high, the low is above the envelope, 14. I want to make sure it's upper. Alright, so now we have a condition to where the high and low is above the 20 period EMA, and then the high and low is above the 14 period envelope, the upper line of the envelope, because it has an upper line and a lower line. Alright, so now what we want to do is we want to set a stop loss of, let's say, what do we say, 8 pips. We'll just say 8 pips. And what we're doing now, let's cancel out. Let's cancel out. All right, let's cancel out. Stop loss. This is where you set your stop loss. Right here. I want this to be 8 pips. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this a variable, or I'm going to assign this number to a variable. And the reason I'm doing this is because if I want to change this in the program, or run the optimization or optimize this EA, then I could assign new values to the variable. So if you want to know more about that, just watch the optimization video on the channel. I did make a video about that. But anyway, I'm going to assign this to a variable, and we can just call it stop loss pips. All right, and then I'm going to assign a take profit, which is double that amount, which is 16. And I'll add a new value, take profit pips. So see here, instead of the stop loss being 8, the stop loss is SL pips, and the number or the value 8 is actually assigned to this variable right here. So if I wanted to change the value of this, will always be stop loss pips. But if I wanted to change the value, I can change the value to whatever I wanted to change the value to. So if I wanted to change this from 8 to 12 as a stop loss, then I can change the value to this, and this code would not have to change. So anyway, all right, so now we are going to use this create the opposite of buy order, which is a sell order. And then what we need to do is we need to check this, because there are some things that we need to edit, and I'll show you why in a minute. All right, so the candlestick high and low is below the 20 period moving average. That is correct, because we want the candlestick. Let's just look at a sell example, which would be this wouldn't qualify because it's not below. That wouldn't either. So let's find one that will qualify. That wouldn't qualify because it's down there. Find one that's kind of outside of the range here. This wouldn't qualify because it's below that. Okay, so this will qualify right here. All right. So the high and the low is below the 20 and below the 14 EMA. The only thing we have to change, and this is in a good position down here because it's not down here. The only thing we need to change here is we need to change the, let's go back over real quick so I can show you. This says upper, mode upper. This says mode upper. It did flip this to the opposite, so we want the candlestick high and low to be below the envelope EMA, but not the upper line. We want the lower line. So we need to open this up, and we need to select the lower line here. So let's select lower line, okay, and then jump over here and also select lower line, lower line. All right, so now it looks good. All right, so now one other thing real quick that I noticed, we have to kind of think like a computer would think. Let's go back. Where's the example? Okay, so if the computer was trading this particular setup right up in here, it would get in here, it would get out at 16 pips, which is right here. It probably wouldn't make it, well, okay, 16 pips is right here. It probably would need to go about 18 pips or so to make up for any spread. I always add 2, but let's see. And the drawdown would have been 4 or 5 pips. So this would have played out. All right, possibly if it could have survived this, the rolling over of the day, it would have played out. But look at this. So it would have opened, our parameter is saying if this is below this, trade, open a trade. So this is below this, it would have opened a trade here. But look at this candle. This candle also qualifies, right? This candle right here, it qualifies. The open or the high and the low is below both of these, so it would have opened a trade here. We don't want to do that. We want to, now would this have made, no, it would have been stopped out. And then we would not want to have opened a trade on this at this hour. But what we want to do now is we want to make sure that the previous candle, we're catching the first candle that closes below this right here. So we need to look at this candle and say, okay, what is this candle doing, or what can we say this candle would do, so that we can make sure it opens a trade here and not open a trade here. So what we can do, we can look at this candle and say that this candlestick right here needs to be, we can say, let's see, it opened here. So we could say the high of the candle, this is for a sell order. Actually, let's look at the opposite for a buy order, but we can talk about this anyway. We can say the high of this candle needs to be above this envelope right here. Whatever the high of the candle is, it needs to be above, and then that would make sure that this candle is above, or some portion of this candle is above, and then we would get in, this will qualify, then we would get in here. All right, so let's look at what we actually want to make the program. Let's see, let's find one that would qualify. This would not really qualify. Well, let's see. The open and close is there. We would have got in here, and that is correct because that is in a good position. All right, so now let's look at this. Let's look at this candle. The low of this candle would need to be, because we want to make sure we get in as soon as the high and the low of the candle closes above this. We want to make sure we get in. So let's look at this candle. We want to see a setup like this where it goes up but not quite, then our indicator kicks off, and then we enter basically. So let's look at this candle. Let's program the system for this candle right here, and let's say, we're not really programming, we're just selecting stuff, but let's add a condition where the candlestick, not the closed candlestick, but the candlestick before the closed candlestick. And let me just explain that real quick. Normally, this candlestick high and low is above the 20 period EMA, above the envelope. So that means it would enter a trade right here. Okay, you guys get that? High, low, above the envelopes, like we said, we would enter a trade right here. And this is the closed candle. This is the closed candle 1. This is number 2, candle 2. All right. So that's why we're saying candlestick 2, the low needs to be below this envelope right here. All right, so let's flip over real quick. Candlestick index 2. We want the low of the candle to be below envelope, 14 periods, and we want to do the upper line. Yep. And then let's go do the same thing for here. I'll manually do this because if I hit this button, it'll change this back and I'll have to rechange it. Let's do this. We want the candlestick 2. We want the high to be above the envelope lower line. All right, and we're done. Now there's one other thing we need to do. All right, there's one other thing we need to do real quick. We need to make sure that we make sure this, let's see, maximum open trades, say 2, and then we need to make sure that this thing doesn't try to place multiple trades on the same candle, meaning this parameter, let's say this qualifies, and it gets ready to open a trade here, right here. We need to make sure that as this right here moves up and down, and all of this, it doesn't try to, actually we'll enter the trade here because this would be the first candle that closes everything above. It would open a trade here. We need to make sure as this fluctuates, it doesn't try to keep opening trades. So we need to make sure that we only allow 2 open trades, and we need to make sure that next open trade only takes place after 1 bar. You can you know, if you wanted to set this to 2 bars or 3 bars, meaning after you enter a trade from the function, don't open another trade until, you know, 4 bars. So anyway, and then we need to money management, fixed lot size. We can say 10 cents before, you know, while we test it out. You can go into alerts and set. You can set the alerts if you want to. And then here's the source code. Here's the source code right here. And if you guys want to, I mean, if you didn't have access and want to just go type this into somewhere, you could. I'll scroll back through it real quick, and you can feel free to pause the video. But that's it. And then we will stop it right here. And then let me scroll up. A lot of typing for you, but that's that. That's that. I'll highlight this for you. All right. So yeah, you guys can easily type this into your meta editor and come out with the code, and that's the end of it. All right, but for this program, what we do is we hit copy. And of course it copies everything, Control C. Then we come over here and we go into Expert Advisor, go to Create in Meta Editor. All right, Expert Advisor. Next, Expert, what do we call it? 3 indicator. I don't know, for YouTube peeps. I think that's what we called it. Hey, make sure you guys go and join the Facebook page too, and the Instagram page. I need to start posting more on the Instagram page. All right, so you come here and you delete what's there, and then you just paste it all right there, and then you compile it. Compile. And then from there, you refresh, and let's see, where is it? 3, oh, there it is right there, right there. All right, thank you guys for watching, but before you go, let's go ahead and run this thing. Let's jump and put on, where is the strategy tester? Strategy tester. Now this is not optimized. The next thing we need to do is optimize it. Let's make sure we get the take profit and stop loss straight, and let's grab it here. Why is it? Where's it? Oh, there it is. All right, let's run this. Let's just say we built it. We're confident about it. Let's just run it from the first. Let's just say we ran it from, oh, not the first, January, the first of, yeah. All right, first week of March. So we ran this thing. Let's put it on the hourly chart. All right. And let me grab the, gotta bring this over just a little bit. My recording software is kind of in the way here. All right, so now it's collecting the data and it's about to run. Right now. All right, so let's see. Take the grid off. Let's flip it. All right, so you can see this qualified right here, and then this candle, this right here was a candle with the low below this upper envelope. And then you see that this candle right here closed above the envelope and the EMA. Boom, we jumped in here. Oh, profit. Now this, I need to try, okay, we need to go back and figure this one out. It always requires a little bit of, you know, we have to tweak this a little bit and optimize it. But see, this right here should not have happened. So this opened right here. Why, I don't know. Because, okay, well, this qualified. But the candle 2, the low was not below the EMA right here. So now the best thing to do is to go back in and say, okay, the candlestick needs to be bullish. So if this candlestick is bullish, we're good. Well, it actually still would play out because this candlestick would be bullish. All right, and let's see what it did here. Okay, it looks like it's going back. Let's see, this qualified. Okay, this is fine. This right here is okay because the low is below. This closed, and then this. Well, it should have opened right here. And this is what you guys have to work through when you're building these EAs. You have to work through. You have to look at the chart, look at your trades, and see why it's not trading exactly where you wanted it to trade. And I'm also noticing this envelope 14. This is the moving average, and this is the envelope 14 upper, lower. Okay. So what we need to check now is, oh, we left something out. Okay. Wonder if you guys, okay, so, and this happens a lot. You have to go in and do this a few times, but one of the things we left out that we didn't talk about, if you guys haven't noticed, is the RSI, ad condition. All right, so the RSI, and this makes a huge difference. The RSI, which is an indicator, and we are on the buy, okay, open buy order. The RSI for a buy order, and we use the 10 period, it has to be below our 75 level, so the value of 75. Sell level, the RSI 10 has to be above 25. Value of 25, or did we? Yeah, it was 25. Very important. Completely missed that. All right, so let's take a look at our code while we're in here and see why. So zero candle is the candle where it places a trade. This is the next candle back, the closed candle, and this is number 2. Candlestick low is below period 14. Deviation 10. Okay, I think there's a let's just see before I do this. Let's see what this deviation is because I don't know what the deviation represents. So let's go here and let's go to the chart where we originally had this. Let's open this up and see if the deviation was 0, 0, what would that do to it? Okay, it wouldn't do anything, and I think that's the problem, because if you deviate from this 0.10, that will change the entire way the program runs. Could be wrong. If you guys know what that means, drop a comment, let me know. Okay, there we go. Change the deviation. And I just want this to run, you know, just straight off the Alright, I just want this to run straight and entirely off of the envelope line. I don't need a deviation or deviating from any mean. I don't need none of that stuff. I just want this to run strictly off of the envelope line. And I could have used a moving average instead of the envelope. Probably would have worked out better. Alright, so let's go back over. Here's the code once again. There. 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 could put this in the comments, but it would be too much to put in the comments. So hope you guys start doing it here. And oh, that's the end of it. All right, so let's go copy it real quick. Didn't mean to make this video too long, so let's copy it. And let's go over here. Let's go ahead and paste PAL. And let's go back to our terminal here. And let's do this. Let's refresh. And then let's bring back up the strategy tester just down here. Let's modify. Oh, didn't mean to do that. It's okay. Expert properties, always do a refresh or reset. Alright, so let's run this thing again. Oh, my recording program is in the way once again. The start button. So I'll start it. Move it back over right here. And there we go. That looks a lot better. Yep, it looks a whole lot better. It's only for a week. And let's remove this. Okay, so this looks a whole lot better. You see it open up a trade here, 15 pips, so the full pips are 16 pips. Profit here, profit here. Okay, so that looks a lot better. We did lose out on these trades right here, but that's okay because these trades made up for it. So let's go over to our report, and you see, and this is just 1 week, 10 cents per pip. It took 14 trades. It netted $57.12. And the total net profit, oh, I'm sorry, the absolute drawdown is $6.46. Not bad at all. So there you have it. And let me see here, make sure, yeah, that worked as well. So there you guys have it, the Expert Advisor, and this is the EA Builder application that we used, and you can trade this manually, but be sure to trade at your own risk. Alright, and this is the code for it right here on the screen. Alright, and thank you guys for watching. If you guys got any value whatsoever out of the video, please like it and subscribe and help me get the channel to 100,000 or a million, 100 million subscribers or whatever. You know, you guys know the deals. All right, see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.